about what you're putting in. All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring?
So in today's video, you are going to see a lot of organizing and getting ready for the week. Basically the stuff that as a working mom, I feel like do every weekend. There's just so many things to catch up on to make sure that you are ready for the week ahead. So you're gonna get a little glimpse of the things that I do. And on this particular weekend, one of the first things I wanted to do is make sure that we return the books to the library. Some of them were getting very close to being overdue, and just get some new ones for my kids. So what I'm doing here is basically checking on the phone app what books I need to return, which ones we can still keep, and just basically sorting them out and packing them away to take back to the library. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Marta. I am a full-time working mom of two, and on my channel you get to see a lot of content about time and house management. So basically the two things I believe are very helpful to help me run my household and balance between my work responsibilities and my house and family responsibilities. So the next thing that I needed to do is update our calendar that we have in our small command center in the kitchen. So basically putting any kids activities, anything, any holidays, anything that's happening in the month of January.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places. Makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking. I don't really care about the music on the dance floor. I don't really mind all the smokers in the bathroom. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention. So you were saying, oh no, I don't see the logic of things. It's quite a lonely world that we're living in. Oh baby, you are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to me.
And next on my list was just basically doing some computer work. So there was some blog stuff, which is my side business, paying bills and things of that nature. There is always some, paperwork or computer work, whatever you want to call it, that needs to get done. It's not very fun to do, but it has to get done. And weekends are usually when I try to set some time aside for that type of work.
You are illuminating. I don't really care about the people in the bar line. I don't really mind all the who goes doing stage dives. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention. So you were saying.
Now the next thing that I definitely wanted to tackle, like I said when I was going over my to-do list, is cleaning out that cabinet. This is the cabinet that we have put in a living room probably a year ago. It was a way for us to make sure that we get rid of the clutter that we often found on the kitchen island. on the dining room table, on a coffee table, basically like any crafts, any arts, anything that my kids were constantly playing with and had a hard time cleaning up or putting away in their playroom or their rooms. So, because they spent a lot of time in the living area, we just put in a cabinet over there. And it's a great way to get the clutter out of the room. But every few months, I do have to go through it and throw away anything that, they don't longer use. There is a lot of like scrap paper, drawings that they started and never finished and don't want to finish anymore. Basically stuff accumulates. So every few months I go through that. And especially I feel like after Christmas, it has really gotten out of control and it was driving me crazy. So this was one of the things that I set aside. I said 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure it took about 45, if not longer, to just go through it. So I was basically putting and setting things in piles. Pile for things to throw away, pile like of stickers, pile of drawings that I wanted to save. And that way it's just made the process a little bit quicker.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go. No, it doesn't even matter to me where I go. Just feel I need to take a ride. I don't know when I'll get back. Keep on going and relax tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Now, one of the things I have noticed that the more I declutter, the easier it gets to get rid of stuff. So when I was starting this decluttering journey, being more consistent of, making sure that we don't have clutter everywhere, it was always hard to throw things away because I was like, well, we will need it, or maybe my kids will still play with that. And the more often I do those little, decluttering things throughout the house, the easier it gets. So in case you are just starting your decluttering journey, just know that it does get easier, because the more you get rid of, then the next time it's like, well, I really don't need it. I had that same question last time and they never played with it. Now, if there are things that I am not quite sure, like I'm on the edge, I will just put them away in a box or a bag and I put it like in the basement that we have. So it's out of sight, out of mind. If they ever ask for it, I'll go back and get it. If they don't, then eventually I will throw it away. But that's kind of one of the tips I got from the Minimal Mom, where you are not sure whether you really want to commit to throwing something away. This is a great way to kind of being that in between. I'm not throwing it away yet, I'm giving it some time, but I am not leaving it in a space that I am decluttering. So that's a great tip to keep in mind.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love. You set my wheels in motion. I'm going crazy for you. Eyes blue like the ocean. I can see you want this too. Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change.
And this is the end result. I think it looks much nicer. There is definitely less paperwork and less clutter. There were some things I was taking to the playroom, and I was just really happy that I finally got this done. So the next thing I was doing on that weekend was getting some food prepped. I usually try to at least get the veggies ready because I feel like if they are ready, I am definitely going to eat them. If there is nothing like ready, like a salad or like some, in this case, spaghetti squash, I'm just gonna grab something that's easier to grab instead of taking the time during the week to prep it. Now, I do work from home, so I am not usually tempted to get any takeouts, but still there are choices that you can make at home that are less healthy. So making sure that the veggies are prepped is something I really try to do every single weekend.
Me out, I just wanna let you know. And I ain't playing no games, baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
So one of the things that is definitely helping me is kind of like when you do at work or for your side business is batching things up. So basically when I do food prep, I just set aside a specific, whether that is like an hour or 2 hours, depending what I am doing, purposely for like food prep or cooking. That way I am not going back and doing a little food prep in the morning, then doing organizing, then going back to cooking dinner. Then it's easiest for me and it's much more quicker if I do it in batches. So when I do food prep, it's usually about an hour, sometimes hour and a half, like I said, depending what I am prepping. But it is just, much quicker if I do it like this way versus throughout the day.
What you're putting in, all your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding ring?
And one of the things besides veggies I was doing that day is doing some turkey meatballs. I put in some grated zucchini and carrot. So it kind of adds some veggies into the meat. My son will typically eat that because he cannot see zucchini. Sometimes he will spot some carrot, but zucchini is just, if I take the skin off of it, he cannot see the green. And they're very, very tasty. So I use that for my lunch throughout the week and for some of his lunches as well. And this is what we had: some meatballs, some spaghetti squash that I actually ended up putting for another 20 minutes back into the oven because it was not ready. I had some cucumbers, some broccoli that I can use for a side for our dinners. I had some carrots for snacking, and then I had some green beans again for the side dish for our dinners. And it just makes it easier to have some things prepared for the week ahead. And after the food prep, this was the evening, and I really wanted to at least get started on decluttering the paperwork in my office. This is another area that gets out of control, and I'm just never honestly motivated to get it going. It is always like the last thing because it's just tedious. It just takes a lot of time, and I am the paper kind of girl. Like, I like my paper versus electronic. Now, don't get me wrong, I still have a lot of electronic or digital clutter on my computer as well. But I am the type of person who takes notes on a paper, so I have a lot of like random pieces of paper. So this year I am really trying to figure out the best way to not to accumulate so much clutter. So each time when it needs to be decluttered, I don't have to spend so much time. I rather have a system that I can just do it on an ongoing basis, put the papers in a specific way or use them in a specific way so it doesn't create so much clutter. So stay tuned for my journey on figuring out how to do that exactly.
There must be more. There must be another way. There must be conscious. Different things in different ways. There must be love. There must be a reason. And a little bit of faith has got to come my way.
And that is it for this video. In the next one, I will be keep going with paper declutter in my office because believe me, there is more. However, I was happy that I did get started and at least what's visible was out of sight. That part was done. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you are not yet subscribed, make sure that you do so you can get notified about the videos that I'm posting. And I will see you next time.